A mysterious man in a suit arrives at a secluded hotel called Renata, looking for peace, solitude, and escape from the outside world. He is greeted by the hotel manager, who takes him to his reserved room. The man seems to have obsessive habits, as he begins to arrange his things in the room impeccably. After relaxing for a while, he goes out and wanders around the hotel, which seems empty. He explores different places, such as the pool and the billiard room, before finally returning to his room. All this time, something seems to be on the man's mind, as he seems fascinated and confused. When night falls, he turns off the lights to sleep, but he can't sleep, so he turns on the TV, which has only one channel, Animal Planet. Once again, he leaves his room, goes to the hotel bar and meets the young bartender, who offers him a drink. However, the man notices a rule that says no drinks after 9 p.m., so he politely declines the offer. The next morning, the man shows up in the dining room for breakfast, sitting next to an elderly lady. He is holding a book in his hand, but his gaze wanders around with an expression of curiosity and confusion. The elderly lady tries to make conversation with him, but the man seems distracted by something else. After breakfast, he walks to his room and sees a woman named Jenny doing yoga. He watches her for a moment, and when she notices him, he steps back. Further on, he encounters the hotel manager, who is hanging posters of rules and procedures on the wall. Next to him is his wife, motionless in a wheelchair, who does not take her eyes off the stranger. It has a rather sinister air. Later that day, the stranger goes to the pool. After a few strokes, he settles into a lounge chair, holding the same red book in his hand. Jenny also arrives at the pool area and jumps into the water. Her beauty charms the man, who is unable to look away. Soon after, she approaches him and they strike up an interesting conversation. He feels attracted, but before he can say anything, Jenny's boyfriend arrives and takes her away. At night, the stranger goes to the hotel bar, where the bartender offers him some cigarettes. The stranger again notices the no smoking rule, but the bartender ignores it, saying that such rules only get in the way of pleasure. This time, the stranger decides to disobey the rule and lights up a cigarette. This is clearly his first time taking nicotine, so the bartender teaches him the right way, showing him how nicotine feels inside. When night falls, the stranger lies down on the bed, but is disturbed by the moaning of the yoga girl in the next room. The moaning affects the man in this way, and he becomes unable to control his emotions. He ends up pleasuring himself. The next day, when the man is about to have breakfast, he comes across the bartender peeping into the room of the elderly lady who tried to talk to him the day before. This disturbs the stranger, so he scolds the bartender, who makes him leave. But after a while, he takes a look around the room himself and notices something sinister. The grandmother tries to appease the priest, who punishes himself. After breakfast, the man heads to the billiard room, where he meets another stranger who introduces himself as a businessman. As the conversation progresses, the man asks the businessman if he has noticed anything unusual at Renata's hotel, to which the man replies that he has not. Noticing his agitated and erratic behavior, the businessman offers him a pill, assuring him that the pill will make him a completely different person the next day. The businessman gives the stranger all the medicine he needs, but on one condition. The stranger must cooperate with him to find a key he has lost. Later, while returning to his room, the stranger meets the maid by accident. While they are picking up their belongings from the floor, the man tries to talk to her humbly, but she quickly asks him why he is at Renata's. The stranger leaves without answering, and the maid leaves. That night, the guests gather in the dining room, where the hotel manager announces some entertainment activities to keep the guests entertained during dinner. In the first part of the show, the immobile woman is brought on stage, accompanied by her son, who is also a waiter. The waiter uses his mother's lifeless body as a puppet to tell a series of horrific jokes. Here we notice the strange situation where the guests do not react until the stranger looks at them, as if his looks are what provoke the reaction. After the first performance is over, the theater receives the daughter of the hotel manager, the same maid who was working before, and she sings a beautiful song that enchants the entire audience. When the music ends, a sudden wave of emotions takes over the maid and she starts crying. The stranger ends his night by having dinner and taking the pill he was given. The next day, he wakes up feeling more energetic than before and gets ready and does his morning routine. The man, driven by his desire to get more miracle pills, decides to help the businessman find the key. He soon comes across the paralyzed woman in the lobby and notices her necklace with a pendant. Thinking that it might be the same key he was looking for, the man reaches inside, but finds only a ring. After that, he grabs her and searches in her back pocket. There, he finally finds the key and takes it. Shortly after, the man goes to the businessman's room to return the key and get more pills, but finds the businessman playing poker with the hotel manager. They invite the man to join in the game, and he accepts. Halfway through the game, the hotel manager leaves to take care of some business, leaving the stranger and the businessman alone. The stranger takes the opportunity, hands him the key, and in return, receives a bottle containing a limited amount of pills. The businessman proposes another game to the stranger, offering him another full bottle of pills if he wins. But if he loses the bottle he has. The man accepts without hesitation, and to everyone's surprise, he wins the game and takes both bottles of medicine. Later, the stranger is by the pool when a waiter comes to talk to him. They talk about the previous night's performance, and the waiter tells him that the hotel manager is forcing them to do these performances. He says that the manager is dominating them, using the fear of the unknown to manipulate them. While they are talking, the waiter slowly approaches, as if he wants to kiss the stranger. But they are interrupted by the maid, who arrives with a towel for them. The stranger is enjoying a hot bath that night when someone knocks loudly on his door. He wraps himself in a towel and goes to answer. It was the waiter who invited him to have dinner with his family. The stranger is hesitant at first, but eventually agrees. He gets dressed and follows the waiter to the hotel manager's family home. There, he notices that the maid is being excluded from the table, even though she is a relative of theirs. The stranger's curiosity is piqued, and he asks why, to which the hotel manager replies that someone should be serving. During dinner, there are awkward silences, leaving the stranger not knowing what to talk about. After a while, an argument breaks out between the hotel manager and his son over Renata's rules and procedures. When the stranger can no longer stand the tense atmosphere, he gets up and leaves. In the middle of the night, he hears the maid crying, so he goes to her and offers to help her, but she runs away, saying that no one is helping her. Soon after, the stranger enters a control room with several security cameras. He is shocked to discover that all the rooms are being monitored by hidden cameras. With this new information, the stranger runs to his room and searches everywhere to find the hidden camera. Suddenly, the TV turns on by itself, transmitting images of the maid participating in delivering medicine to the businessman, helping the grandmother take a shower, and engaging in intimate moments with Jenny's boyfriend. The stranger begins to suspect that something is very wrong in the hotel. He leaves his room and goes to spy on another empty room. At this moment, the waiter watches him and hands him a key to enter the same room. Inside, he finds several laboratory devices, such as acids, needles, and vials dripping blood, as well as some notes about pregnancy and genetic modifications. Seeing all this, the man becomes even more suspicious that the hotel staff and guests are involved in some illegal and immoral activities. After that, the stranger runs to Jenny's room, but finds her boyfriend injecting her with an unknown substance. The stranger confronts Jenny's boyfriend, but soon after, the hotel manager appears, grabs him, and locks him in his room. In the next scene, the bartender sends the maid to the stranger's room. She refuses, but accepts when he threatens to burn her favorite doll. However, the stranger realizes that she is being coerced and decides to escape from the hotel with her. The bartender, who is watching everything through a camera, warns the other guests not to prevent the two from escaping. The guests obey as if they were robots programmed by the hotel's computer. The hotel manager, the bartender's father, tries to stop his son from destroying the hotel's system, but the bartender locks the system and traps his father in the control room. The old man tries to get out, but sustains a severe head injury and dies. The stranger and the maid are about to leave the hotel when the stranger has a heart attack and falls to the floor. He tries to get up and run, but the bartender catches up to him and throws him to the ground. The other guests grab the maid, forcefully ripping off her clothes like a domineering zombie. The bartender then unties his belt and pounces on the helpless maid. In the final scene, the stranger comes to his senses and sees the horror of the maid's lifeless body on the floor, crying in pain. He crawls to her, dragging her to the exit door, where the motionless woman is also dead and cold. In a tearful voice, he sings the same song she sang in tribute to her spirit. In the next scene, he is in the hotel reading a book. As it seems, this is all the book the stranger was reading. Thanks for watching.